Weeks have felt like years for the families of Americans trapped in Gaza. A woman from California who was there seeing relatives wasn't sure she would ever get out as airstrikes rained missiles down all around her. She's from Southern California and has family here in the Bay Area. And her son has been fighting his own battle here from the U.S., doing everything he could think of to try and get his mom out. Nabil al-Sharafa says he's been anxiously attached to his phone every day since the war started. I talked to him tonight about his mother's unbelievable journey out of Gaza and about the family she left behind. After weeks of steeling himself for a phone call that his mother was no longer alive, Nabil al-Sharafa picked up the call from his uncle and heard the news he wasn't expecting.
And he was telling us, Naila, my mother escaped. She got out. She's on the Rafah side. And he just sent this message this morning, and I could feel the tears in his eyes. And it's just so sad because he also doesn't know if he's going to make it, if he's ever going to see her again.
Nabil's mother, Naila, who lives in Camarillo, had been visiting family in Gaza when Hamas attacked Israel on October 7th. Ever since then, Nabil had been desperately trying to get her out of Gaza via Egypt, but the crossing was either too busy or the border was closed. Naila took this video inside her family home in Gaza.
They're bombing the area.
Well, I remember after that communication blackout, I spoke to Mom and she was just in tears. And everyone was in tears. Just they didn't know. They thought that's it. They cut us off from the world and they're going to finish us.
Nabil says she hid out with dozens of people rationing food and water while he frantically contacted government officials stateside begging them to help his mom. When Nabil finally got the call from his uncle that Naila left Gaza, he called the moment bittersweet.
It was so hard to tell him I was happy. Hearing him cry, a 50-something-year-old man.
Nabil says this photo of his mom was taken just after she had crossed into Egypt, but that her thoughts stayed with her family trapped in a war zone on the other side.
Right now, there is just a plan for her to rest, to make sure that mentally and her morale just goes up a little bit because she's just terrified for her family. And so we just want her to rest there with family in Egypt. And then slowly we'll start talking about booking her a flight to come back to the U.S.
Nabil says he had to take some time away from work to spend time lobbying to get his mom to safety. And now that she is safe, he says he's working to get his elderly grandmother out too, and is begging for all civilians in Gaza to be given a path to safety regardless of their citizenship.